Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and the Premier League is back. Yes, after 5 minutes away, football returns to English shores. But who's going to come out on top and who's going down? Well, thanks to a lovely gentleman who I don't know, I'm going to find out. This guy's created a game on FM20 where the previous season is already complete. All the results and league positions are bang on. So you can start in the summer of 2020 with the Premier League boasting the likes of Leeds and Fulham, while Bournemouth are nowhere to be seen. All I had to do was pay £4 to get the in-game editor and sort out all the transfers, but that's how much I care about the quality. £4 whole of my own money. So every club has all their new signings up until about 9 PM on Wednesday night, so anything after that, I've missed it, but sorry, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to sim 1 year into the future and see exactly how the 2020-2021 Premier League season plays out. 20th, West Brom. In typical West Brom fashion, the Baggies have gone straight back down. The undisputed yo-yo club have been relegated at the first time of asking, and the main reason is they couldn't score any goals. They were the second lowest scorers with 32, finishing 9 points adrift from safety. When Callum Robinson's your top scorer with 8, you know you're in bother. But then again, I bet he doesn't even score 8 this season anyway. 19th, Leeds. Yes, after all the hype, Leeds have gone straight back down as well. Personally, I don't think this will happen, but who am I to argue with Football Manager? The main issue might have been that Marcelo Bielsa left in March, but he wasn't sacked. In fact, he headed the Black Country to take over at Molineux. Gordon Stratton came in at Ellen Road, and to the shock horror of everyone on planet Earth, he couldn't keep them up. 18th, Aston Villa. The third and final team to go down are Aston Villa, who were unable to complete a great escape like last time out. It was close again though, finishing just a point behind 17th. A win on the final day would have kept them up, but instead they were beaten 2-0 by Liverpool and dropped back down to the Championship. The big money signing of Ollie Watkins was a waste of time too, with the ex-Brentford man bagging just 6 league goals. 17th, Fulham. So the only promoted club to survive with Fulham, and it was literally by the skin of their teeth. They got 36 points to Villa's 35, which was just enough to keep them up. Unsurprisingly, it was Alexander Mitrovic's goals that were pivotal in survival, and the creative efforts of Anthony Knockaert, which, depending on your thoughts on the Frenchman, might be a surprise, it might not be. 16th, Sheffield United. It was a case of second season syndrome for Chris Wilder's side, who were unable to launch another assault on the top 6. But they still survived, which I suppose is the main thing. Sure, they were incredible last year, but let's not lose perspective here. Just being in the Premier League is an achievement right now for the Blades. Yet again, it was a lot of goals that hindered them, and by the looks of things, they weren't as rock solid as the year before. 15th, West Ham. West Ham were very West Ham in this simulation, failing to win any of their final 8 games, which almost put them in relegation bother. Their woeful performances resulted in David Moyes getting the sack once the campaign was over, and this is actually so realistic it hurts. 14th, Newcastle. Despite making the most sensible signings in the history of Newcastle United Football Club, the Magpies are still chilling in the bottom half. Wilson didn't score many, and Fraser didn't set many up, and Steve Bruce is still there, and so is Mike Ashley. But on the upside, Alan St-Maximin was really good again, and just like West Ham, this is also realistic, although I'll be good if Wilson flops with only 4 goals. 13th, Southampton. The Saints also survived kinda comfortably, but were unable to kick on after an impressive end of the previous season. New signing Salisu did alright, while Danny Ings was at it again in front of goal, although only managed a more modest tally of 12. The big shot was Guido Carrillo getting 11 goals, which I really hope isn't a sign of things to come. I can't do with being proven wrong about this waste of money. 12th, Crystal Palace. This'll do Crystal Palace fans lovely, but the thing is, I'm not really sure how they did it. Since the deal hasn't gone through at the time of writing, I couldn't give them Michy Batshuayi, so they had to rely on Jordan Ayew for goals once again, who got 9. I've got no idea how Palace finished so high, but Penchant and Roy Hodgson won't care a bit. They'll be sat at home at 4 o'clock each day watching Tipping Point, happy with another hard day's work at Selhurst Park. 11th, Brighton. It's been a great season for Brighton, who avoided a relegation scrap and sat top of the bottom half, proving they can really kick on under Graham Potter, on FM at least. Adel Lallana impressed, but interestingly it was Aaron Connolly who finished as the top scorer, netting 11 Premier League goals. In contrast, Maupay only got 5 and only actually played 10 games despite not being injured, so who knows what's gone on there. 10th, Wolves. So I'd say this is the biggest shock so far, as Wolves have really regressed and actually had a change of manager. Despite big wins over both Manchester sides, Nuno got the sack in February. Marcelo Bielsa took his place and immediately binned off the wing-back system, and to be honest he was just as inconsistent at Molineux, which is why Wolves weren't able to qualify for Europe. 9th, Burnley. So Sean Dyche has worked his magic again, and Burnley are the 9th best team in English football. And despite having barely any money to spend, they've been astute in the transfer window once again. Harry Wilson came in on loan and provided a load of assists, but the big story this season was the form of Chris Wood. The Kiwi sensation scored 18 Premier League goals to make him the second top scorer in the division and lifting Burnley to the dizzy heights of 9th. 8th, Everton. Despite being 8th, this has actually been a really good season for Everton. Performance levels were high, the new players such as Rodriguez did well, and while they only came 8th in the league, they ended their trophy drought. Yes, Carlo Ancelotti delivered the League Cup back to Goodison Park to prove it's not just Liverpool who can win things on Merseyside. And a trophy win has ensured that Everton qualify for the Europa Conference League next season, which may or may not be a good thing. It's probably a bad thing actually. 7th, Leicester. There was no Champions League capitulation for the Foxes this season, instead ending the year in a much more realistic 7th. However, the Leicester board clearly weren't happy, as Brendan Rodgers got his P45 as soon as the season ended. That's a huge shock and a pretty appalling decision. I mean, they came 7th, they were the best of the rest. In the Cups they were knocked out by Man United, Chelsea and AC Milan. It's not like they were ever embarrassed. Justice for Rodgers everyone, get it trending. 6th, Chelsea. So despite all the money spent on Ziyech, Werner and Havertz, Chelsea finished lower than the season before. And I just don't understand what's gone on. The new signings were brilliant, and in the Cups they were so close. They lost both Cup finals and they were knocked out of the Champions League in the quarters by Man City. But they had a run at the end of the season where they lost 5 in a row, which ruined their top 4 hopes, meaning they managed to slip down as low as 6th in Europa League purgatory. All this meant was Frank Lampard got the sack, which is quite sad, isn't it? Poor Frank, he was so close yet so far. 5th, Arsenal. Okay, a big reason Arsenal didn't finish in the top 4 is that they inexplicably sold Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to Man City, and he wasn't even that good there. Lacazette and Willian were the only star performers for Arsenal, but they weren't enough to win any silverware. In fact, they got knocked out of the Europa League semis by Tottenham of all clubs. That, combined with a 5th place finish signaling the end of Mikel Arteta, who joins Frank Lampard at the job centre. 4th, Man United. Well, Man United fans, your new number 7 has arrived, and you guessed it, it's the one you've been waiting for, Leo Baptistao from the Chinese Super League. Look, this season was pretty appalling for Man United, which is why Oli got the sack in February. I mean, they were in the bottom half loads, they were only in the top 4 2 weeks of the whole season, but the arrival of Max Allegri saved them and ensured Champions League football would remain at Old Trafford, even if they did only get in the top 4 on goal difference. 3rd, Tottenham. Jose Mourinho was brought to Tottenham to win trophies, and through hell and high water in an Amazon documentary, he's done it. What a season it's been for Spurs. They've came 3rd in the Premier League and they won the FA Cup and the Europa League. Jose Mourinho truly is the special one once again. Maurizio Pochettino who, am I right? 2nd, Liverpool. So the Reds were unable to defend their Premier League crown, and if they hadn't started so badly then maybe it might have been a bit of a closer title race. But really, Man City were just really good. Like as good as Liverpool were last season. That kind of good. So it's 2nd place for Klopp and co, who have to take a year off from winning all the silverware. And 1st place, Manchester City. With 96 points, Manchester City are Premier League champions once again, and like Liverpool last year, they were unstoppable. It was like they were angry they'd lost the title and just dominated from day one. Literally they were top for the entire season. Aguero was the league's top scorer, Bernardo Silva was the league's best player. It was a massacre. And to top it all off, they won their first ever Champions League by beating Liverpool in the final. There you go, Klopp, that's what you get for angering Pep Guardiola and trying to be better than him. So there we have it, that's exactly what's going to happen this season in the Premier League according to Football Manager 2020. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo, and until next time, we'll see you around.